Welcome to my unforgettable adventure. If you're new here to the channel, my name is Chris. I bought a 26-foot sailboat with no experience how to sail her, and am now working my way from Rhode Island back to Tennessee. This is my journey that I am sharing with all of you who might one day be inspired to take on a journey of your own. If you enjoy the content or find it helps you in any way, please like and subscribe and share with others to help support the channel. I plan to do a more in-depth tour of the USS Wisconsin in Norfolk, Virginia later, but for now I just want to give you some quick snippets of what the battleship looks like. Leaving Norfolk, Virginia, and starting the trip southbound on the ICW at mile marker 5.8 is the Glimmerton Bridge, which opens on signal except from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The height on the Glimmerton Bridge closed is 35 foot, so I had them open the bridge to make sure that I had enough clearance. Glimmerton Bridge, Glimmerton Bridge, Glimmerton Bridge. This is vessel Catalyst, vessel Catalyst, vessel Catalyst southbound requesting an opening. At mile marker 7.3, which is basically just past the I-64 bridge, you have to make a choice of going through the Virginia Cut or going through the Dismal Swamp. And I chose to take the route of the Dismal Swamp Canal. The Dismal Swamp has a controlling depth of 6 foot. It's really meant to be slow going through there. I didn't really go any faster than about 5 knots most of the way through. When you choose the Dismal Swamp route, you have 2 locks that you have to go through. The first is Deep Creek Lock, which raises you about 8 foot in elevation. And the second is South Mills Lock, which lowers you about 8 foot in elevation. Both of the locks are open 4 times daily. 8:30 a.m., 11 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And following both of those locks are also bridges that are controlled by the lockmaster as well. So the guy that raises you or lowers you in the lock will also open the bridge for you as well. So this being the first lock that I went through, I kind of messed it up quite a bit because I didn't have my bow line all the way reaching back to me. So I learned real quick that it's a good idea going through the locks to make sure you can reach your bow line from the cockpit. The lockmaster told me to give him the aft line, the stern line first, and then the bow line second. And I handed him the stern line, but by the time I was trying to get up to the bow line, the boat had already started turning on me, and I couldn't get it turned back. Thankfully, this lockmaster was really patient and understanding of it, so he basically had me go back out and turn around and come back in again. And when I came back in, I handed him the bow line first instead of the stern line, which he had me hand him the stern line first in the beginning, but by handing him the bow line first, it definitely made it a lot easier. But I definitely had some struggles in the lock for the first time, and the second lock that I went through on South Mills went a lot smoother because I was much better prepared for it. This was a bit of a crazy struggle because I was trying to keep my motor off of the side of the wall there, and my boat off the side of the wall as well, and the dockmaster there kept pulling my line tighter, which wasn't really helping the situation any. But then he finally, said, let's just go back out, turn around, and come back again. And that definitely helped out a lot because that gave me time to, again, better prepare and have my bow line reaching the cockpit where I could reach both instantly, basically. Of course, in the midst of the struggles I was already having, it decided that it wanted to start pouring down rain. So that's always fun. So I got pulled back into the first lock after going back out and turning around, and it was much better having handed him the bow line first and then the stern line after. The problem here, however, which ended up causing another mess, is the lockmaster had tied the bow line up top and told me I didn't need to hold that one, just to hold the stern line. Unfortunately, he didn't actually tie it up there properly where it would hold, so midway through him raising the water, my bow line came loose, and I was once again struggling with fighting to keep the boat off of the wall while the water was filling up in the lock. So that was a really fun adventure through my first lock. In addition to all the other struggles of the day for the first lock, apparently it was raining hard enough that my life vest I had sitting there decided that it was going to pop open. The knot I'm tying here, I believe, is called a sheepskin knot, which I learned how to tie while scuba diving to connect two different size lines together. All the struggles and finally getting through the first lock in the Dismal Swamp, I decided to take advantage of the free docking on the side of the wall directly after the first bridge in the Dismal Swamp, and also gave me time to get some provisions and restock. And so I stayed there for the night, and then the following morning I left out of there and went towards the Dismal Swamp Welcome Center. So I stayed at the Welcome Center for one night, and that's also where I met Andre, who has Let's See, and he has a YouTube channel as well, like Project Blair 2.0. I will put that in the description, so if you guys would like to check that out, you can. He's from Canada, so his channel is in French, but some cool stuff to see if you want to check it out.
Good morning, guys. So I have just recently left the Dismal Swamp Canal Welcome Center in North Carolina, and I am heading for Elizabeth City, North Carolina today. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And I'm kind of watching for logs and stuff in the water here because there are some that I need to avoid. And my plan today, once I get to Elizabeth City, they got some free docks showing over there. So hopefully we can get docked up there without too many problems. I got one more lock to go through. Once I get through that lock, then we will be about, I don't know, I think it's about 14, 15 miles from there to Elizabeth City, North Carolina. So we should get done fairly early today, maybe, 3, 4 o'clock, I think. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and say good morning, let you guys know what's going on.
The lockmaster at South Mills Lock was definitely not as nice or as friendly as the lockmaster at the first lock, but the transition here was much easier as I was well prepared coming in, and I held both lines, so there was no chance of any mishaps like there was on the first lock, so it was much smoother. After getting through the final lock in the Dismal Swamp Canal, it was much nicer without all the duckweed there, and it was time to head to Elizabeth City. Once I arrived in Elizabeth City, I stayed on the Marina Wharf town docks. It was free docks, so not the greatest docks in the world, but it was free, so that's always nice.
Okay guys, so this was the video from Norfolk to Elizabeth City going through the Dismal Swamp Canal. The next video I do will be heading out of Elizabeth City, going across the Albemarle Sound to Belhaven, North Carolina. So stay tuned for that one sometime in the next few days. All right, thanks. See you later.